Our friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and today I'm on TAKP. I'm just doing some Spectres. We're in Qeynos Is it Qeynos? What are they called? Qeynos Catacombs. Of course it is. And I'm kind of I'm kind of near. I'm sure you probably know where you go through the secret wall. Oh, I didn't want to run that way. Yeah, where you go through the secret wall, you end up near the guild, near the Shadow Knights Guild and Necromancers Guild. So that's kind of where I am, just getting into Spectres. It's a great spot here. I mean, the Zem down here is huge, so I think it's a fairly popular place. Yeah, and it's been going great. I mean, I think I came down here about, oh God, must have been about 5 or 6 levels ago. This was like back before I kind of took a break from EQ, to try and get my old health sorted out. Yeah, but I've come back down here this morning. It's quite often it's busy. There's a lot going on. It's quite a hectic camp as well because the Spectres spawn really quickly. I guess it must be 6 minutes, which I think is probably unusual for yeah. For I guess it's not. Is it a dungeon though? I'm not quite sure if it'd be classed as a dungeon or not. I mean, Pet Push is amazing. I'm playing first person. I hope that doesn't impair your enjoyment too much. And we'll kind of try and get the Spectres in shot as much as I can. There's Augur, my Shaman, Rune, my Enchanter. Essentially what I do is that, like, Rune does crowd control, and I'll every fight I'll chuck a nuke on just to kind of raise his evocation, because when you're kind of free boxing, particularly when you get, I've had some like really amazing help. Yeah, you kind of fly through the levels, so you don't keep up with your skill raises, which I think I kind of mentioned before. I don't want to get behind on the Spectres, so let's go straight in again. Yeah, it's oh, I think we're too close there. Let's back it off a bit. Back off, rack off. There we go. Yeah, so really, at the moment, I kind of want to get into charming in a trio, in like my little trio box, but there's quite a lot of control involved there, quite a lot of yeah, input. So I'm not sure. I think it gets easier later on, because I think that your old enchanters get like dire charm, so it kind of lasts a fixed period of time. Like I think it's an AA, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But this will probably be the last level that I'm here. Augur are level 47, and Rune is kind of like, where is he? Like he's more on his way to level 49. It's funny when you kind of do this, when you level characters together, you kind of really get an idea for the XP penalties that you get. It's not something that you kind of notice when you're soloing, obviously, when you're leveling something solo, unless you're kind of duoing with someone that you know. Yeah, but it's it's interesting, like how far behind they are, almost like like over a level, level and a half roughly behind. But I'm going to move once yeah, the Beast Lord and the Shaman level up. I think they'll all be 48. Rune will probably be 49. So we will we'll go someone else. Go somewhere else. I'm kind of, I still love the Beast Lord, like the whole everything about it. You kind of, how I feel about the Shaman, and the Beast Lord is kind of like it's like the melee version of the Shaman, really. So you can't really go wrong. Old Argin here will, I mean, if you've been here, if you know the Shadow Knight Guild and Necromancer Guild, Argin will, yeah, you know that he'll roam every however long. I think he's on a proper dungeon spawn time, so like 20 between 20 and 30 minutes or whatever. But he goes down pretty nifty. Bit of a copper top, but there we go. Yeah, I'm enjoying I'm really enjoying the. I just got to chuck some heals on. I'm really enjoying the the Beast Lord. It's pretty amazing. Not as I know. A few people have told me that it's kind of a bit OP for this kind of timeline. I'm not really finding that yet, I have to say. But I think that at 47, I think when I get to 50, and as I get into the 50s, I think I start to get some spells that kind of really push it on. I think so. I think that's probably where we are at the moment. I'm not quite sure which one's going to spawn next. I think I just pulled that one, did I? Oh no. You can lose track. These, I mean, Spectres are... Oops. Holy smokes. Okay. It's probably a mistake, but we'll fight here. I might get an ad. Spectres are Spectres. You know how it goes. They go down pretty quickly. These ones, I have to say, like in comparison to P99 ones, I do find these pretty... like the DPS is high. I'm not quite sure if it's just Auger's gear at the moment, like AC, that kind of thing, but he really takes a pasting, like just from one of them sometimes. So I'm not sure if that's if that's just a thing. Maybe they're a bit tougher on here or not. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, but it's enjoyable. Like the pet DPS is good. My DPS kind of feels good. I've been trying to keep up with my skill raises for different weapons. I've got some decent stuff. I've really had a lot of help from one or two people in particular. You know who you are. Yeah, but I haven't got like earth-shattering stuff. It's like I can certainly probably increase my DPS by looking at some other weapons. Probably like a really, really good two-hander, I would guess, of some kind. Yeah, but the Beast Lord is like really interesting. You've got your pet summon. I've just got my first... I think I've recently got my first pet haste spell. And you get these spirits of the... You get one for each different element. The Scorpion one is the highest one at the moment I'm using, so that's I've got that on. That does a ton of damage when it procs. It seems to proc quite a lot as well. What I probably should be doing is I should probably put a Shaman Dex buff on my Warder, just to get that proc going a bit more, I think, maybe. But it seems to proc a lot on its own anyway. Yeah, but yeah, I'm feeling a bit perkier today, and I do enjoy this kind of like trio boxing thing, but it does it does take up more what should we say, it does take up more input. Yeah, so there's a bit more for you to do. What I should have done here is I should be recording from one of my other characters, so you can basically see what's going on in the fight, apart from when the mobs just wander off and I have to follow them, and then there's nothing in shot. That's okay. But this is a really good spot. Like the Zem is really high here on TAKP. I came here yesterday. Well, I kind of sent a scout out yesterday, and there was someone here, and you can come here really early. Like I guess they were probably twinked, but there was someone here yesterday whose characters ranged from 38 to 40. I'm kind of thinking, oh bloody hell, those Spectres must hurt. But I guess if you're like like really uber twinked, then then that'll be maybe it's just a bit easier. What am I looking for here? This guy. Let's pull him back. Come back, Warder. Warder seems a decent tank. It's weird because you get as you'll know, you get your pet every 10 levels. As a Beast Lord. So you kind of, once you kind of get up into the highs of whatever number you're in. So like I'm now up into the high 40s. You're kind of itching for that new pet, so you can get another increase in DPS. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, yeah, I always wonder if you can get, when mobs run, if you, whatever way you're facing into them, they will kind of go in the opposite direction. Yeah, these are kind of light blue now, this one. Yeah, up until level 46, I was getting like 1% per kill. But I think some of the light blue ones, it's like 2 kills basically. So yeah, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. And I think that you could probably, I mean, you could stay here for longer, but I think I'll probably move on at the end of this. At the end of this level for these 2 dudes. Got some other places I want to try. I kind of, as I said before, I'm sure I said before in videos like this, I'm also Spirit of the Blizzard. I think that's an old, earlier level one, 22. Yeah. I'm kind of also thinking about new trios or new characters to level. I want to go to some different dungeons, try them out, as I kind of do on on P99 as well. But the experience is so different, like playing with a trio. Like it really is a different experience. I'm sure I said this before, but it's harder than playing like a single player role playing game. First of all, you've got 3 screens to control. You've got free clients. So you're kind of flipping around. The game is much harder, I think, as well than a traditional kind of tile based or kind of like first person RPG, party based RPG. So yeah, it's just a different experience. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really glad that I got to try out the Beast Lord class. And what I'm kind of also hoping for as well at some point in the future is to be able to just bring you different different dungeons. Like I'm going to crawl through different dungeons with my oh god, I think we got a little lad there, didn't we? As long as that's the only one we've got at the moment. I don't want to do that. Going to try kind of different dungeons with the trio. Try different trios. That's kind of all coming up in the future of my Everquest stuff, as well as like playing P99 stuff as well. So looking forward to it. Those of you who like Everquest, you're probably going to get a lot of it coming up. I would imagine. I haven't forgotten about other games like Mortal Online 2 and Project Gorgon are really the only 2 that I'm playing now. I did recently drop a couple. I'm still like my plot is still active in Worm Online, but my it's running out soon, and I don't think I'm going to be renewing that. I just don't. At some point, you kind of have to think, well, you got to kind of drop some games. maybe, yeah. I'm just not very active. I'm not active enough in it. I think that's the problem. And I think the other thing as well is Shroud of the Avatar. I kind of feel that I'm done with that, like pretty much completely. There's like Chris, the developer, is he's been working on changes and stuff, but I just feel that at the core there are a lot of issues that these kind of smaller changes. I mean, they're kind of calling them big nerfs, but I'm not really sure about that. I don't think the purpose was like really to nerf people particularly anyway. I think that all the top end players are still going to be able to do what they do even after all these kind of big changes that have apparently gone on. But yeah, I think it's just not my game, essentially. So yeah, I'm kind of down to 3 MMOs, although I'm currently playing on 3 different Everquest servers, like Green, Blue and TAKP, so I need to be a bit sensible there as well. But I'm looking forward to pushing into like some Velius and Cunark content that I've never done yet with my trio. I'm kind of interested to see what I'm going to be capable of doing. I do want to level some other stuff as well. I think everyone says that a druid is super useful for various reasons. Apparently they're really good healers on TAKP at a certain point. Things like fawns and all that kind of stuff, like porting. Even though you got the books, particularly there are some like Cunark and Velius zones that are still you can get to the continent, but it's not so easy to actually get to the places you want to go to. You've still got a fair amount of running to do. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to crawling through some Qeynos and Velius dungeons, some of the higher level stuff that I've never done before, like with my trio. And also like questing. I'm looking forward to doing questing. I'm looking forward to trying to do some. I'm not sure how they fall on TAKP, but I'm looking forward to be able to trying to do some epics. I don't know if with a trio and with the fact that you've got some, you know, higher end gear and higher end. There are some like more powerful spells on TAKP than there are on P99. You know, I'm not sure if that means that as a trio you can maybe do some of the epic stuff on your own. I'm not sure, though I'm sure I'll get help. You know, I'm still in Imperium. Sorry to anyone in Imperium who's just, you know, where the hell's this bloke gone? You know, but hopefully I'm back now, and yeah, we'll get some gamey, we'll get some stuff done, get some progress done. I think what I might do next, I mean, looking at some of the like, I think rightly so, like on TAKP, some of the like lower leveling zones have got quite a high Zem, but I think as you get higher up the Zems go down, which is fine. But what I might once these dudes level, I might take my trio to the hole. I've never been into the hole before. Back in classic on the day, you know, in the day, or on P99. So that's what I'm. As you can see, these guys spawn really quickly. So yeah. I must confess, I kind of like, it's part like I was saying, I partly feel that maybe it would have been sensible to start playing, like looking at playing characters I haven't played before. Like maybe I should have started off with a Druid, Shadow Knight, something, you know, cleric or whatever. But I think like achieving all the stuff on my favourite classes just, I guess in the end, just makes sense really. Rather than just trying to overthink things. Yeah, so, but I will be leveling out some other classes that I haven't played before on here, like, and on P99 hopefully as well. And I was, like in my most recent channel burp, I said I was going to play something different on there, and I do want to do that, although I do also want to do like a Shaman leveling guide. I don't want to start from scratch again. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. Oh, hello, Spectres. Yeah, these guys spawn quick, so you just I don't know if I want him there or not. Let's pull him back a bit. I need to kind of do some more research on the Beast Lord as well, because I don't really know much about it. I don't know much about its equipment, like its specific equipment, like Beast Lord stuff only from planes or from questing. Like I'm assuming there's a Velius set like there is for every other class. I don't know what the epic is, so got all this stuff to go through. I'm not kind of interacting as much as I was previously with my other characters. To be honest with you, I've really only just logged back in again. Like it took me a while to remember my passwords to get all of my, you know, to get all of my clients going again. Yeah, so that took a while. So I'm really just getting back into it again. Normally I would have my thingy pet up. I think it was that one. I think it was that one, wasn't it? Or was it that one? I'm not sure. But normally I'd have my, you know, my shaman pet up and stuff. And I want to try charming as well at some point, because that'd be quite fun. Kind of like holding down a pet as well, charmed pet as well. As oh, hello. Hello. One thing I will say, and I need to get used to it again. And I'm sure I will, but I do like if TAKP had the titanium client like scroll in, scroll out for first person stuff, I think that would be tickety boo, as they say on the Peep Show. Yeah, that would be brilliant. But yeah, it is what it is. It's still enjoyable. I think it's interesting. I don't know if I said this before on a TAKP video, probably when I first started, but it's really weird. I kind of expected it to be like different. I know I've said this before, but you know, you kind of get into like the mentality of the game or the server that you're playing on, and you kind of think that that's the only experience. You know, any other experience is not going to feel the same. It's going to feel phony and stuff. And I'll be honest, I did find that on like live. Like I tried the Agnar server and I just hated it. I just couldn't stand it at all. But yeah, but for anyone wondering, like this is close enough to feeling like P99 and stuff. I can't unless I kind of go there with like Qeynos or some other friend or a group or whatever. I don't think I'll spend a huge. I do need to explore. What's it called? I do need to explore Looklin, but I don't like it. Like my characters were over in a dungeon there when I logged in, when I came back from my hiatus, and I had to kind of run for a couple of zones to get back to the POC book, and I just don't like them. I don't like the graphics. Like the zones just feel a bit. I don't know. Actually, it's like. I mean, it feels like they used a completely different. Well, they did use a completely different engine to create the visuals, and it all just it's weird. Like, I mean, this is, you know, these are obviously 1999 visuals. They're quite flat, you know, very very flat polygons, little what you would call like rounded. Obviously, there's no, you know, the texture mapping is quite. I was going to say quite basic. It is quite basic, but I think what they did. You know, in Classic is that they which one is it? Is it that one? I'm terrible at remembering which one's about to pop. Oh, actually, I'm quite low on life, so let's just go and get a little heal. Yeah, like they creatively, like the guys who did the visuals for this game, you know, for Classic, well, for Vanilla Kunark and Velius, you know, like they were, in my opinion, like real artists, you know. Yeah, it's just great work. You know, it's characterful. That's the thing. It's like, well, we haven't got tons of polygons or textures and stuff to work with, you know. So we're really going to make them. We're going to make up for that by being creative, creating an atmosphere and stuff. And I think that's the problem with the Looklin zones and mobs, is that they lost all that character. I think it was a real shame. I do like some of the character models. Like I quite like the Dark Elf character model. I quite like the Ixar as well. I hate the Troll and the Ogre. Like, I really just can't stand them. But yeah, it is a shame. I do feel that the character was kind of, you know, squeezed out of things. And the mobs as well. I mean, I know that the textures are high resolution in Looklin, but they don't have that same character or feel. And yeah, the mobs as well, like the animation on the mobs is really weird. You could argue that they're more detailed, but again, with less character. But the animations don't feel as fluid as they do on the older models. Yeah, it's weird. Obviously, I'll have to move into Looklin at some point, because, you know, that's how you start to upgrade your gear. But like, to be honest with you, I'm more looking forward to like doing more in Velius, which I hadn't really done much of before. You know, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I'm not even slowing here because it's just pointless. It'll pull aggro. Yeah, and and the mobs go down fairly quickly. It's funny, a couple of people have made have kind of looked at my trio composition and gone, that's interesting. Three slowers and 3 hasters as well, I guess you would say. Yeah, bit of a weird composition. I didn't really think about it beforehand, but I think in the long run I'll be much happier. Yeah, just getting my favourite classes up to, you know, up to where I want them to be first, and then yeah, and then go from there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop the video here. This is a bit hectic for me at the moment, I have to say. I won't be sorry to move on to a dungeon where there's proper spawn timers. Yeah, this is pretty non-stop for long, but that's why you level so quickly. You know, as I said, I saw someone down here with their trio level 40. So if you're on TAKP looking for a quick way from like 40-ish to 50-ish, you could stay until 50 if you wanted. Yeah, then this is probably a spot for you. I hope I haven't given away a secret spot. I mean, I've seen people down here and it's mentioned on the forum, so, you know, I can't really imagine it is. And of course, if you're on TAKP, look out for those mega group buffs at the Dark Bank, because yep, they help you level. And guilds here are very thingy as well. Like people want you in their guilds. You know, the player base is smaller than P99, obviously. Oh, hello. Oi, oi, oi. What's going on here? Leave Rune alone. Yeah, there we go. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you again soon.